So joining us this morning is best-selling author, coach Lisa Goldenthal.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa G, your host. You're at the top of your game, yet the game is changing faster than ever. Strategies that got you here aren't the ones that'll keep you here. The pressure is relentless, and the fear of obsolescence looms large. That's why I'm here. Welcome to the new podcast series, Disrupted: How to Be Gritty and Unlock Performance in Business, Mindset, Wellness, and Success. He's a dad, a lecturer, a professor in entrepreneurship in Sydney, and a startup coach who helps students, entrepreneurs launch their business and live in harmony. His motto: life is good when you future-proof your family, your business, in that order. Julien Marchand, welcome.
I love it. You pronounced it right.
Thank you. I want to make sure I didn't mangle it too much. I really want to talk about this concept of future-proof. So why don't we break it down and tell us a little bit about how can we future-proof our life?
Well, I'll give it a little bit of background first. Is I realized when I was reaching 40 that other guys who's been focusing on work is we focus so much on work that we totally forget about our family and ourselves. I mean, I think we put ourselves like last. And I got a few wake-up calls in my life, physical, emotionally, that made me realize I need first to future-proof me, like to look after myself. And Lisa, it's hard for guys to do that, because we have to provide for the family. I mean, that's what we tell ourselves. We have to provide for the family. But I really found, my body broke down last year. My knee wasn't working anymore. I couldn't walk. So I had no choice but to look after myself. And I was riding my bike every day, but apparently it wasn't enough to build. It was great for my quads, wasn't good for my hamstrings. And I'm like, okay, that's it. How do I look after myself? And that took quite a bit of meditation, of self-reflection. And I started to realize, hang on, I need that meditation more frequently. So I started doing it on every morning, because before the kids wake up, it's the only time I can actually do it. And if I don't do it in the morning, it doesn't happen. And then I went to see a chiro for my knee, and he said, you need to do some sport. I'm like, well, bike is not working. And my wife said, what about swimming? I'm like, oh, I hate swimming in a pool. She goes, we live on the ocean, just go in the ocean. I'm like, I don't know, it's not for me. But the secret in life is sometimes to do listen to your wife. And I allowed myself, I think that was the best part, allow myself to give the time after the meditation to start swimming. And I started swimming, 500 meters in the water. That was enough. And now I swim 2.5 kilometers every single morning. I come back on the beach. I do my knee exercises. I do my meditation. It takes me an hour all in all. I wake up at 6 a.m. and at 7 a.m. I'm back having breakfast with the kids. But that hours of future-proofing me, oh, it's fantastic.
Something had to happen to you physically for you to take yourself seriously. And oftentimes, sadly, that's a case for all of us. It's like something has to happen to yourself or somebody that and then you're like, you only have this one body. And the mindset piece for me of starting my morning with meditation is so grounding in such a crazy world that we live in. It's giving me ADHD, just all of this, accessibility with Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, email. I make a vow to myself to meditate before I get out of bed and start scrolling around.
And it does something for your business, is because in that time of meditation, after that, your brain is really to think. And then if you start going on a workout, going for a walk or going swimming, I mean, all my best ideas come while I'm swimming. I mean, that moment where you have great ideas in the shower. Imagine like swimming for half an hour.
It's so wonderful that you have the ocean right there. And then how do you also, then you're future-proofing yourself, but then how do you future-proof your business too?
So before you can future-proof your business, you have to future-proof your family, because that's a problem with, especially with dads, is we see ourselves as providers. So we've been focusing so much on our job that we spend 100% of our time on our job, and we want to be modern dads. We want to be able to look after our kids as well. But if we focus 100% on the job, then there's no time left for the family. So it's really, and we feel guilty. There's 45% of dads who wants to be modern dads and are not, because they don't know how to spend their time, and we're frustrated, right? And I'm one of them. So future-proofing your family start with my wife and I deciding to live on the beach, which is, as you can imagine, in Sydney, a little bit more expensive than living inland. But it's because my wife loves surfing. My oldest Tayo loves climbing on the rocks, and my daughter Saya, she's in a wheelchair, and on the beach it's always flat, right? So she get to work with her wheelchair to school, and she gets to exercise every morning. So it's expensive, but it's something that is for everyone in the family. We have a very shitty car.
Awful place to live. I just got a glimpse of your view when we just started the chat. It's like, what a feeling that must be, just though, to wake up in the morning and get that beach experience.
But it's funny, Lisa, because we lived at the beach in different places before, but we never. Or my wife was enjoying it, but I wasn't enjoying it because I was focused on work. I wasn't future-proofing myself. I wasn't going in the water. I wasn't, I was like, yes, this is nice, I'm there, but I was not enjoying it. And so future-proofing your family means, you're taking care of them. And then when you come home, you're present with them, you spend time with them. You're able to answer the questions of your kids when they, without looking at that at the same time, for instance.
That's restraint. I admire that.
And then it's so much easier to future-proof your business, because you've taken care of yourself. You've taken care of your family. Like everyone is happy, and if you're happy and your family is happy, business becomes so easy. Like, because you're not alone now in running your own business. Like the ups and downs, Lisa, of running your own business.
That's what inspired this podcast in the first place. It was like, exactly. I want to inspire people to be unstoppable no matter what. When you're going through hell, to keep going through the ups and downs.
So imagine, when I think it was last week, I was launching my my one-on-one coaching offer for dads, right? And I was involving my kids in there. So we built together, we drew with my kids a thermometer with all the targets, of how many I want to have. I only have room for 5 coachees at the moment, 5 clients. So we drew the number 1, and I told them, first, I need to book discovery calls so I can have a conversation with a potential dad. And so now every time I have a discovery call, I tell them, and we write it down on the thermometer, and everyone is cheering, like everyone is happy for me.
Yeah, they're involved, and they care about the outcome.
Exactly. And you know what happened? My son drew his own thermometer because he saw me doing it. He's like, "Hey, I want to do it too," because he's a basker. So he's got a target that he wants to achieve. He wanted to buy a new piano, for instance. So it's so funny that you're building your business and then you're also sharing that with your family. And then the other day, I signed up my first client. And I told my kids, they were so happy. And then we started dancing salsa, and then, and I'm like, you know what? Let me share that with everyone. So I took my phone and we were dancing with my kids, and I filmed myself and I put that on LinkedIn. And guess what? It brought so many smiles on the face of so many people.
That so much right now. And plus you're leading by example of how to be an entrepreneur, and people, I think your children learn by what you do, not what you say.
Yeah. And all that made sure that everything you do is actually aligned, right? So how I look after myself, how I celebrate, how I look after my kids and my wife, and how I look after my business, it becomes easier because our brain doesn't have to think so much because everything is aligned. You're doing the same thing. It becomes so powerful and easier because starting your own business, I'm on my 4th one, right? and I coach a lot of entrepreneurs at co-working spaces, at accelerator. It's a lonely, it can be a lonely experience, right? Very lonely, with a lot of ups and downs. So being able to share it with a lot of people, and for you, Lisa, to bring a lot of people with energy and show everyone that everyone is going through the same thing, but it's a lot about the mindset, as you said. That is super positive.
Absolutely. Mindset is everything. It's everything for me too. And I want to know, is there anything else you want to leave our audience with? Any extra tips?
Any extra tip? No, I think for the guys, it's, like one of the benefits when you start looking after you, like, start exercising, is that your body gets better. You look at yourself in the mirror, like, hang on, I look better now than I was when I was 35. What's the deal here?
What a nice side effect that is.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I was on a call with a dad yesterday, and we've been on Zoom for so many hours already on the phone. By the time it's 5 p.m. and we have our coaching session, and he looks at me, I can see in his eyes on Zoom, he goes, "Oh my God, I had so much on today, and I've got the kids crying in the background, like a regular dad." And I said, "You know what? How about we go for a walk on Zoom?" And then he said, "Give me 2 minutes. I'm just going to ask my wife." And then he went out. And then 5 minutes later, we were on Zoom, and so video walking. And then he showed me that he was pushing the pram with his kid.
What does change someone's state when you're into that overwhelm of just being in the computer screen for too long? Nothing to be like getting outdoors and just
exactly
in my state.
And it was one of our best sessions, because he was walking, he had his dogs as well, but he was pushing his pram, he was talking about the business that he was building. He was finally out there, like, breathing. He was showing me where he was walking, because he was in Sydney Harbor, so he showed me the Sydney Harbor Bridge, the Opera House.
Wow.
And I was walking on the beach, so I was showing him the beach, and he was showing to his baby, like, the surfers that I could see on the video. And that's how we were linking everything together. And I think it was one of our best sessions together, even though we couldn't take notes, even though we couldn't share screen. So sometimes it's just going for a walk is, just the right thing to do.
The best advice ever. I love it. Where can people find you?
So if they can spell my name, they can find my website. It's julienmarchand.co. And if you type futureproofyou.co, you'll also find it. You'll go to the same place.
Futureproofyou.co. Okay. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.